Here in my Officetel, I just bought this brand new bed with nylon sheets. It's great. I also bought this new fridge. Fantastic. That toilet there, I just bought that too. Just bought that tile on the ground there. I bought that washing machine. I bought that door too. It's great. It's fantastic. It's the best door I've had. Okay? But let's not talk about doors. Let's talk about stuff that's more important than material things. Like subscribing to my channel. Okay guys, now if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Just because I want more people to see the content that I put up. I don't want to be making these videos and maybe only have about 20 to 30 people watching them. So if you can, just real quick, subscribe and you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Moving forward, this is a shot of the hallway that I walk through every day in order to get to my little Officetel. And an Officetel in South Korea is essentially the equivalent of a little studio back in the States. So it has a kitchen, a bathroom, and a little living area. And as you can see, my room is 411. Now this right here is a keypad. They don't really have keys, they have keypads, and all you gotta do is you lift it up, put the little code in, and then slide it back down. That little blue means that you're good to go. The door's open. So we're inside the Officetel. Now one of the things you gotta do upon entering any Korean household is you gotta remove your shoes. And the reason they like to remove the shoes is because they figure you're stepping around all on the dirty floor outside in the streets. And the streets in some areas can be pretty nasty. They're filthy. So that's generally why they want to have the shoes taken off. And you usually store them in these cabinets right here, which is also called a shoe cabinet. I don't know what it's called in Korean yet, but as you can see, that's where you put your shoes. I haven't really gotten into the habit of doing it all the time. Sometimes I'll walk in with the shoes onto the floor, but I'm getting there. So, some cabinet space right there. It's me saying hello, waving, hear what I have to say.
Subscribe, hit that like button, and subscribe. Okay?
You heard the man.
Yeah.
Subscribe and hit that like button, and all your wishes will come true. And moving forward, this is the sink area. Check out the sink right there. There's some pots and pans for you to look at. I got some vitamins right there from the vitamin shop. Up here is some storage space. There's some lights installed on the top right there, so you can see. It's a closer look at my vitamins. The sink thing pulls out, so you know if you want to take a shower in the middle of the house, you can. But I prefer to go to the restroom and take a shower. And it's a little clumsy to put away, but it does what it needs to do. Right there, here is the storage area. There's about 6 compartments, and they're not that tall, but you can put a decent amount of stuff in there. The depth of the compartments isn't that far back. I would probably have to say it's about a foot and a half of depth in those cabinets. Now, here is a shot of what is essentially the cooking area. I had some water boiling right there because I was going to get my coffee ready. And to turn these on, it's just like back in the States. You just push down and turn and it'll heat up. And it's all electric, so there's no gas involved at all. Here's a main shot of the living area. Up top is a little light which floods the whole room with light. Now I'm walking onto the floor. I already had my shoes off at this point, So there you go. See, I have my little shoes right there in the bottom right. Sometimes I'll put them on, sometimes I won't. But yeah, right now I'm putting them on. So usually I'll put those on and walk around on the floor, making sure they're snug. Okay. The fridge right there, normally the fridges don't come with the Officetel, you have to buy them. Fortunately for me, my boss, she bought this for me, and it was a little bigger than what I had been researching from other YouTubers and just online in general. This is about a mid-size fridge, so it's not a full size or a small size. It's just right. All right, it's just the right size, so I can put a lot of stuff in there, and it works. It's good. Right here is the restroom. There's some graphics left from the previous owner. As you can see, it's a pretty small restroom. The whole thing is tiled because in South Korea, in a lot of the houses, they haven't been updated, the restrooms, to have a shower or a tub area. So a lot of the houses you'll run into will often have this type of layout where the shower is right next to the toilet. And it works. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. If you're from the States, you're definitely not going to be used to it. But the whole thing is tiled. And when you're taking a shower, you got to wear those shoes right there, just so you don't slip and fall and crack your head, you know. Otherwise, it does get slippery if you go barefoot in. Here's the washing machine. It's under the cooking area, so they optimized this whole space to essentially use the whole area as a living space. Here's my closet. I just opened it up for you. There's a good amount of space in there, as you can see. There's my desk. There's a bunch of shelf compartments up top. And there's some old TV that I don't even use that I want to throw away, but I can't throw it away because I'll get charged, and I don't want to get charged. So it's just there, I guess, as a decoration. See my clothes in there. This is like a little utility area. I don't know what it is actually. I just put stuff in there and it worked out. This is the storage for the desk area, and I just put a bunch of junk in there. I don't really, I organize, but I don't really organize, if you know what I mean. Here's a look at my other stuff up here. Here's my little Kindle, which is what I usually read when I'm on the subway. So, a lot of people like to listen to music, but I prefer to read just because I like reading. There's the computer, which I use to upload my videos. There's my little handheld recorder in the right. I use that generally when I'm out in the field and don't have time to set up the DSLR camera. Here's a look into the other storage space in the house. I got my yoga mat, I got some pillows right there. I got my suitcases and all that other junk. There's the Wi-Fi set up right there. And the depth on these cabinets is a little further in. It's about 2 feet in. Yeah. Now, one interesting thing here in Korea is the floors are actually heated. So if you see these little slits in the floor, that is where the heat essentially comes out of. Underneath the floor, they have piping which has steam, and that steam slides through those little slits, and it heats up the room, which is actually, in my opinion, really smart because, as you know, heat rises. So for the heat to come up through those and rise up. It works really well. Here's an outside shot of the buildings around me. I'm on the 4th floor, so I can see up from the top down of things that are going on outside. I have this little, what would I say? Well, here's the window. So in these houses, typically they're double paned because the winter gets extremely cold here. There's some nice little trees to look at. There's some people. Sometimes when I wake up, I yell at those people and they turn around and say hi. There's a little children's park, which sometimes I go work out at, and then people look at me and they think I'm strange because I'm using children's equipment to do like dips and stuff, but I don't care. I don't care what they think. I'm trying to get my gains, Trying to make them gains. Alright, guys, well, anyways, that's it for the Officetel video. You got a little glimpse of where I live and what a typical Officetel in South Korea looks like. If you have any questions or you just want to ask me something in general, go ahead and send me a message. Other than that, we'll see you next week.